In my opinion, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is the best animation the Marvel Cinematic Universe has ever produced. Amazing graphics, eye-catching animations, and great visualization of events set this movie apart from all other movies. So the protagonist of this movie, Miles Morales, is a school student living in Brooklyn. He has an indomitable desire to do something new. His father, Jefferson, is a member of the New York police who wants Miles to stay traditional. Because of this, Miles is somewhat upset with his father. He spends 5 days a week at the school hostel and the remaining 2 days at home with his parents. One day after school, he goes to the Fisk Tower with his uncle Aaron to do graffiti art and expresses his joy there. Aaron teaches him the shoulder touch if he likes any girl. He was beaten by a radioactive spider there. The next morning, when he is getting ready to go to school, he sees that his pants have become smaller. He becomes nervous, thinking about puberty. When he enters the school campus with nervousness, he accidentally bumps into Gwen. When Gwen wants to know the reason for his nervousness, he places his hand on her shoulder according to his uncle Aaron's teachings. His hand gets stuck in Gwen's hair. Despite many attempts, he fails to remove his hand and eventually has to cut Gwen's hair. Everyone on campus is watching them awkwardly and laughing. When the security guards caught him escaping yesterday evening, an awkward situation ensued. Everything sticks to his hand. Gwen sees him in this state. In the evening he goes under the Fisk Tower to look for the spider and realizes it is radioactive. Afterward, he experiences the presence of something different. The sound creates a tingling sensation in his ears. He witnesses Green Goblin trying to kill Spider-Man. The movie's story begins here. One day, when Kingpin was trying to kill Spider-Man, his wife Vanessa spots him. She comes to know Kingpin's secret and tries to leave him with their son Richard, but get killed in a car accident. Kingpin, who loved his family dearly, tries to bring them back by creating a collider that can access different dimensions. Today Kingpin is going to start the collider. Spider-Man has built an override key that can destroy the collider. Green Goblin is about to stop him. At this time, Prowler comes and restrains Spider-Man. Green Goblin captures Spider-Man. Meanwhile, when the collider is activated, it creates 5 different dimensions. Kingpin finds Vanessa there. But as Spider-Man struggles with Green Goblin, Goblin holds him between the colliders. Though the collider is about to shut down, Goblin ignores Kingpin's orders. As a result, the machine stops and Kingpin loses his family again. Spider-Man is mortally wounded. Miles goes to Spider-Man. Spider-Man tells him that if Kingpin activates the collider again, everyone will disappear. Spider-Man gives him the override key and takes promises that he will destroy the collider. Miles goes to the collider to destroy it. But when he reaches the collider, Kingpin's henchmen arrive. Spider-Man knows why Kingpin is doing all this. Spider-Man states that Kingpin will never get his family back. Hearing this, Kingpin attacks Spider-Man with so much force that he dies. At this time, Kingpin notices Miles and sends Prowler to kill him. He manages to escape from Prowler's grasp by any means necessary. Afterward, news of Spider-Man's death spreads. He takes up the mission to finish Spider-Man's unfinished work. He wants to learn Spider-Man's web swinging technique and decides to climb a tall building to practice swinging from below. However, due to an accident, he falls down. As a result, the microchip he had is destroyed. Then he goes to Spider-Man's grave. Sensing someone's presence there, he hits him from behind and the person becomes unconscious. Miles approaches and finds the person dressed in Spider-Man's suit. The person reveals that he is also a Spider-Man who comes from a different dimension, and his name is Peter B. Parker. When the police attacked there, they somehow escaped. Miles tells B. Parker about his promise to Spider-Man. However, Peter advises Miles to stay away from Kingpin's grasp and to live a normal life. But when Miles reveals the danger of Kingpin's collider and its potential threat to the people of the Earth, Peter B. Parker decides to help him. The next day, they both go to a hidden lab called Alchemax, where they can access the necessary data to build a new override key or goober. While Peter B. Parker manages to enter the lab, Miles gets stuck on the rooftop. Miles falls from the roof and discovers that he can turn invisible. Meanwhile, when a scientist in the lab named Doc Ock smells their presence, Miles disappears and starts to steal the data and B. Parker gets captured. Doc Ock tests Peter B. Parker's body and realizes that he came from a different dimension. As Miles tries to sneak out with the entire desktop, Doc Ock and Kingpin's henchmen chase them. Just as they are about to be caught, someone comes to their rescue. It turns out to be the only one Spider-Woman in the universe, Gwen, who is Miles' classmate at school. B. Parker and Gwen won't be able to stay in the present time for long because they are from other dimensions. So, they had to use the collider to go back home and then destroy it. They go to Aunt May's house to enter Spider-Man's hidden hideout and create a goober. 3 more members of the Spider-Verse from different dimensions arrive there. They are Spider-Man Noir from 1933, Penny Parker from 3145, and Peter Porker the Pig. They all are trying to go back home, but there is a problem. One of them had to stay here to destroy the collider after the rest of them go back to their home. But if one stays here, he will definitely die as he is from a different dimension. Only Miles can do this as he is not from another dimension. Miles wants to help them. B. Parker orders him to show his potential, such as go invisible on command and attacking with Venom Strike. But he is not yet skilled to perform this on command in the ways of Spider-Man, since the others discourage him, considering him unsuitable for the task. Disheartened, he goes to Aaron's place. At that moment, Prowler arrives there, and Miles hides invisibly. In reality, Aaron was Prowler, which Miles realizes after he removes his mask. While Miles tries to escape from there, Prowler senses his presence and chases him. Instead of catching Miles, Prowler keeps an eye on him and wonders where he goes. Miles goes to Aunt May's house and informs the other Spider-Men that Prowler is, in fact, his uncle. Kingpin's henchmen capture Miles and take him to where they plan to kill him. Prowler takes charge of killing Miles, and they go up a building. But on top of the building, when Prowler is about to kill Miles, he reveals his face. After recognizing Miles, he can't bring himself to kill him. Seeing this, Kingpin kills Prowler. Then, Miles returns to his hostel room, where the other Spider-Men bid him farewell. B. Parker has decided to destroy the collider, staying back to help other spiders to go back home. For this, he will have to sacrifice himself. When Peter Parker offers to return the goober to Miles, he declines it, stating that they need to fight against Kingpin. Since Miles is not yet prepared, Peter Parker restrains him and takes the goober. Miles asks him how he will know when he is ready, to which Peter Parker responds, "It's just a leap of faith." When he tries to escape alone, his father comes and finds him in the room. But Miles doesn't open the door. His father talks about the great responsibility he always pushes himself for. This inspires Miles, and through the Venom Strike, he breaks free from all restraints. He heads to a tall building where Peter Parker's words motivate him to perform the Spider-Man leap. Meanwhile, Kingpin organizes a party in Spider-Man's memory. The other Spider-Men are present there, disguised as waiters. During the party, Kingpin reactivates the collider. The Spider-Men gather there, and Peter Parker, with the goober, prepares to destroy the collider. At that moment, Doc Ock captures him. In order to save B. Parker, an invisible man hits Doc Ock. No one could understand who is hitting Doc Ock. Later, it is revealed that the invisible person is none other than Miles Morales, who is now a full-fledged Spider-Man. He can now become invisible on command and can attack with the Venom Strike. The Spider-Men then take down Kingpin's henchmen one by one. They return to their respective dimensions one by one. But Kingpin was still there to find his family. Miles faces him, but he was unable to restrain him. Miles was mortally wounded. Miles could see his father witnessing their fight and thus stands on his feet. Now, Miles hits Kingpin with a Venom Strike and throws him to push the green button that stops the collider. All the other dimensions go back and the collider bursts with immense power. Now the world is out of danger. Miles hands over Kingpin to Jeff. So at the end of this movie, we have our new Spider-Man Miles. The other Spider-Men are busy with their day-to-day life in their own universe. I hope you enjoyed the movie story.